Welcome to Where Are They Now, where we reach into the archives of Lenape, Shawnee, Cherokee, and Seneca high schools and invite selected alumni to share their memories and fill us in on their career paths after commencement. Since Lenape's first graduating class in 1961, Shawnee's in 1972, Cherokee's in 1978, and Seneca's in 2005. Over 77,000 individuals have received diplomas from these four schools. Join us now for another Lenape District alumni interview on Where Are They Now? Hello and welcome to another edition of Where Are They Now? I'm Mark Sonsini, a 1996 graduate of Cherokee High School, and today we'll be talking with a Shawnee alumnus from the class of 1988. He's the owner of Legends Realty, real estate sales and property management in Lake Mary, Florida. I'd like to welcome Dan Lopez to the show. Dan, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you, Mark. I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you here today. I'm excited to hear about your career since Shawnee High School. But first, let's go back and talk about your time at Shawnee a little bit. You grew up in Tabernacle, correct?
I did, yes. My parents moved us to Tabernacle when I was 6 years old.
But you spent a lot of time in Medford, though, at that time.
Oh yeah, because there wasn't much in Tabernacle. It was all woods. We didn't have our own supermarket. So everything was at least half a mile. 30 minutes away. So
right.
We spent a lot of time in Medford.
And you had a sibling. Your sister went to Shawnee as well.
She did. Yeah, she was about 3 years ahead of me.
Okay. And so when you got to Shawnee, you actually arrived at Shawnee your sophomore year. Freshman year, you were at the vocational school. Then you arrived at Shawnee, and that seemed to fit a little bit better for you. Tell me about that.
It really did. Yeah, I was slow to mature when I was a kid. I refer to different stages in my life as awakenings, and oh my word, I was such in a daze, I guess, just not really understanding life and knowing where I was heading in life. And so, by the time you're in the 8th grade, they want you to sort of choose your majors and what the type of study you're going to be doing in high school. And I really didn't have an idea. Sure. And so I decided to go the vocational route and consider working in a trade, one day owning my own business perhaps. And it wasn't the experience I was hoping for. And I knew right away, even before that year was over, that I needed to make a change. I needed to go back, go to Shawnee High School, where I felt like that was going to create a better foundation for me in life, ultimately create more opportunities for me, as I'm still trying to figure things out on what my future is going to hold.
Sure. It's tough for any 8th grader or 9th grader or, yes, even high school student at that age to kind of know what lies ahead of you career-wise. So it's a tough decision.
Yes.
Okay, so you're at Shawnee. You participated in wrestling for a little bit while you were there. You tried that out.
I did. Yeah, it was a fun sport. My father was a wrestler, and he made it to the States, and so that was a way for him and I to sort of connect. When I was at the vocational school, Aussie Vocational, I wrestled there. I was decent. As a freshman, I made the varsity team. And then, so when I went to Shawnee, it just seemed natural, to continue on the wrestling team. Sure. Unfortunately, I didn't stick with it, though. I really don't remember what took place, but, before that year was over, I didn't continue on with the sport. Looking back at it now, I wish I did, but, I still feel like that did help to, create some discipline in my life. Yeah. That ultimately carried with me throughout my lifetime.
Good. Okay, let's talk about a couple of the staff members that had an impact on you at Shawnee. One was English teacher, Mr. Parker. Tell me about him.
Happy Parker. He was one of the first teachers that I had, where it wasn't just about instruction. It wasn't just about getting up in front of the class and read this and answer these questions and turn in your assignments and go into your next class. He was all about the personality. You could tell he loved his profession of teaching. he would get into the storylines. I remember reading about Shakespeare, and as a sophomore in high school, I had no desire to really learn about Shakespeare or even do a lot of reading on my own. But he just made it sound so exciting. He brought out the personal element of it. And so I give him credit for kind of creating that spark in me to start looking at reading as more of not something that you have to do, but something that you do for enjoyment. And then ultimately that transformed into continuing to enjoy reading further on in life, to continue to improve myself, better myself, learn about new opportunities that continue to carry with me to this day.
Excellent. That's what the good ones do. They make connections and they inspire students. So I'm glad he did that for you.
Absolutely.
And then someone else who had an impact was your guidance counselor, Mrs. Norman. Tell me about her.
Mrs. Norman, yeah, she was actually a gym teacher initially from my grade school, Tabernacle Middle School.
Okay.
And then when I came to Shawnee, it was around that time that she was able to pick up a position as a guidance counselor, and she was assigned to me. And she just had such a warm, loving type of personality. She was an excellent listener. I was very, very shy, and it wasn't easy for me to be able to communicate my thoughts. And as I already shared, I really had no idea what my future was going to hold. Sure. And so she kind of gave me some advice on what classes to take, to just to kind of expand my options.
Yeah.
She actually talked me into taking a couple of accounting classes, which really proved to be beneficial for me later on when I was looking to create my own business.
Fantastic. And you're still in contact with her today, correct?
I am, yeah. Through the power of social media.
Yeah.
We were able to connect on Facebook years ago, and so I'm able to kind of keep up on what's going on in her life. And she still continues to have that same warm and loving personality. She loves to reach out and see what's going on with her past students.
That's nice. Let's talk about some of these special memories you have from Shawnee. Football and basketball games were always fun times for you.
Oh yeah, they were fun. Yeah, just going out with your friends and watching the games. Watching the going up against your rivalries. The games against Cherokee or Lenape. Yep. And Seneca wasn't in existence yet at that time.
Right.
but yeah, they were a lot of fun.
And then you also mentioned the talent show and the fashion show.
Yeah, that was one of those items that sort of pulled me out of my shyness.
Good.
I can't remember who it was, but there must have been some teacher that reached out to me and suggested that I do the talent show and modeling tuxedos, and so that was a neat experience, and ultimately that was a step to again help me come out of my shyness that I was experiencing at the time.
Yeah.
And, being able to get up on stage, get in front of people, and ultimately present yourself to an audience.
What was do you remember your talent or your performance?
Well, there was a couple. So the one was we were modeling, for the prom. So it was tuxedos and gowns and that type of thing.
Formal wear, right?
The other one, the talent show, it was who was lip singing to some music. I think it was oh my gosh, probably one of the long hair rock bands like Cinderella or
right.
something like that.
It was the late 80s, so glam rock was where it was at. So okay. And you have a group of friends. What most of us do. We have our sort of gang that we hang out with, and you had yours at the time. Any of those buddies you're still in contact with?
I am, and luckily, again, with social media, I've been able to continue to stay in touch with them. I moved out of the area in 1998. I moved from New Jersey to Florida, which is where I am currently, and so you tend to lose touch with your group of friends. You don't get to hang out with them as much as you used to.
Yeah.
Still always try to make a point to try to reach out to them from time to time by phone. But then when Facebook came out, it just made all that so much easier. We were able to connect. We were able to kind of see what's going on in each other's lives. So there's still a lot of that going on. And then because I live in the state of Florida, a lot of people end up moving here.
Yeah.
And so I have some close friends that they don't live in my immediate area. Florida is a very big state, but they're still within the state boundaries, and we're able to get together from time to time. In fact, just a couple of months ago, I went down south and visited with an old friend of mine that I knew since grade school, since like the 5th grade, Phil.
Very cool.
And got to hang out with his wife and see his brand new home and that type of thing. It was very nice.
Very cool. It makes it a lot easier when they live, at least in your state. It makes it easier.
Yeah, absolutely.
And then, of course, the prom is an exciting time. Do you remember your prom date?
I do remember my prom date. Yes, her name was Shawnee. A very, very pretty girl. I've lost touch with her since high school, but I hope and trust and pray that she's enjoying life and experiencing a lot of success.
Good. All right. So after Shawnee, you go to Burlington County College, now RCBC, but at the time Burlington County College for a bit, and you start out pursuing something in the medical field. Tell me about that and why you did that.
Yeah. So like I mentioned, I was slow to mature, so I didn't quite have things figured out yet. So rather than just jumping right into college, I was always afraid of acquiring a lot of debt. So I didn't want to necessarily, start going to a 4-year college and not really know what direction I'm heading in. So I decided to go the community college route. And my family was in medical. My mom was an LPN. My grandmother was a nurse, and so I just kind of felt like, well, maybe this is the direction that I should go into. There's good job security, you get benefits, the pay's decent, and so I decided to pursue a business. Pursue my studies heading towards physical therapy. Okay, and because I like to exercise and work out and stay healthy and that type of thing. And I even had a part-time job as a fitness trainer. And I thought that, well, this might be an interesting transition. So I started taking some prerequisite classes. These classes that I took was actually enough for me to get other employment within the medical field, working as a medical lab technologist. And I did that for a number of years. Okay. And I don't mean to take the conversation to a negative direction here, but I had a life-changing, life-altering event that took place. I lost my wife, my first wife, in an automobile accident, and it was devastating. And it actually put me through a state of depression for a number of years. And so all those plans just kind of went by the wayside. I stopped school, and I was once again trying to find myself. Luckily, I was able to, I know I needed to reboot myself, and hence that's one of the reasons why I decided to make the move to Florida, just to see if there were other opportunities for me. And so while still working in the medical field, working as a medical lab technologist, I met my current wife, Tina, and she had just gotten her real estate license. And she said, Dan, because when I met her, I was considering I was working as a medical lab tech, but I was also getting involved with real estate investments. I wanted to buy properties, fix them up, and sell them. And that was sort of my introduction into the business of real estate. Okay. And so she said, Dan, why don't you go get your real estate license? And I was like, I don't know if I really want to do that. And she goes, well, do it. It's only going to help you in your plans as an investor. Sure. So I found this 1-week crash course, 7 days of like 10 hours a day, of study, to get your license in the business of real estate. I took it and I absolutely fell in love with it. And then, so before that week was even over, I knew, this is my direction. This is my passion in life. Yeah. I need to transition out of the medical field, and I went headfirst into the business of real estate, and I never looked back. Terrific.
Yeah, it's amazing when you find that thing that your passion, like you said, that thing that you are really interested in. It just kind of all falls into place and becomes a lot easier. So really that's great. You found that, and then so you get your license. So how do you get from having your license or obtaining your real estate license to owning your own company? And what Tell me about the time between those two things.
Well, that's fair. Yeah. So in order to own your own company in real estate, you need to have a broker's license. So in real estate, the way that it works is you start out as an associate or a salesperson's license, and when you have that license, you have to hang it under somebody that has a broker's license.
Okay.
In Florida back then, you only had to wait 1 year from getting your associate's license to getting your broker's license. So I went ahead and did that. So got licensed in 2000. By 2001, I obtained my broker's license, but I still continued to hang my broker's license under another broker and continued to work as a sales associate for many years.
Right.
And
Okay.
and during that time, I dived into the study of real estate, constantly taking courses, obtaining designations, getting additional training, learning just as much as I possibly can about the business of real estate, and just really absorbing whatever I could, reading books left and right. Obtained probably, I don't know, a dozen different designations in the business, different types of specialties, and then just working very hard to make sure that I represent my customers in the very best way that I can, ultimately making me a better professional as well. Doing that for a period of time, I just, I reached a point where I knew it was time for me to go out on my own and create my own business. Luckily, my wife, Tina, she was still in the business of real estate as well. She was specializing in property management. I was specializing in sales. And we were like, you know what, let's go ahead and combine forces. Let's start our own company. And I told her, you focus on the property management side. I focus on the sales side, and let's see if we can make this company successful. This is in 2011, which was interesting because if you remember in 2008, that's when we had the big real estate market crash.
Right.
And so by 2011, we were still kind of just beginning to come back, just starting to build back up,
Right.
Economically speaking. And so a lot of people told me I was absolutely nuts, crazy for trying to open up a new real estate office at that time. But I just felt like it was the right thing to do. The right timing was appropriate, and well, the rest is history. Our company is doing very well. We employ several agents within our office, and we continue to grow.
So as you said, Legends Realty is still doing well, and it's somewhat of a family business too, right?
It is, yeah.
Aside from you and your wife.
My wife and I own it. We run it. My two daughters, when they finished up with their school and decided to come on board with us as well, and they continue to work with us to this day. At various different stages of the company's history, we've had different family members work with us. My dad even came on board with us for a short period of time, working as a business developer within our company. Okay. Tina's mom worked with us for a short while. Her sister worked with us for a short while. Two of her sisters actually worked with us for a short while. And so, yeah, it definitely has become sort of a foundation, with not just with us, but even with our extended family. My brother-in-law owned a heating and AC company, and so we would be able to kind of refer business to him and
Right.
help him out, and he would help us out with different deals and that kind of stuff. And whenever we had a property that needed a new heating and AC system. So
Right.
and that's part of the reason why I love the business so much, because even as a young person, I call myself an individual with a servant's heart, right? And you're always looking for opportunities to be of service to others, to help make the lives of others a little bit better, a little bit easier. And that's what sort of being a broker is all about, is being able to connect people, whether it's connecting people to houses or connecting people to one another, and ultimately helping to make their lives a little bit better, a little bit brighter. And that's ultimately why I love, why I'm so passionate about this industry, because it gives me that opportunity to be able to be a servant leader.
And along those lines, you've had some in 2022 or 2023. You had the opportunity to work with some of the Florida legislature to make some changes to the real estate industry to make it easier for some first-time home buyers. Correct?
Correct. Yeah. So it's funny because growing up, I I had zero interest when it came to politics. And but then, as you start growing in this profession, you start seeing how especially local government, how much of an effect it can have on this industry and on this profession. And so I got turned on to this organization called RPAC, which stands for the Realtor Political Action Committee. And what they focus on is realtor initiatives and more specifically, the protection of private property rights. Okay. And so what we do is, at a minimum, once a year, we go up to Tallahassee. We meet with our elected officials, our legislators, and we discuss with them, we talk with them what is important to us as a real estate profession. And so, some of the things that we've helped influence involve, tenant-landlord relationships, signage ordinances, tax assessment situations. Like in Florida, we have a cap on how much your property taxes can go up on any given year. There's two categories, one for a primary homeowner and one for a secondary homeowner or an investor. Okay. And so there was some periods of time when some of those previous caps were about to expire. The legislature that was in place was sunsetting. And so we would go and we speak with our elected officials, and we would talk about the importance of continuing on with these statutes that were in place. And we were just, ultimately kind of give the side of the realtor perspective and also the perspective of the homeowner, within the state of Florida. And for the most part, it's proven to be a very rewarding experience. Luckily, our elected officials tend to pay attention to us as a body, as a profession. And so we've been able to help make some positive changes for the residents of the state of Florida. Terrific.
And a result of some of your work, you've earned some awards over the years. Tell me about a couple of them.
So the most recent one was this year. I won it through the local Realtor Association, the Orlando Regional Realtor Association. It's called the Tony Jennings Award. Tony Jennings was a remarkable elected official here in the state legislature who championed many of the realtor initiatives. So they give that award to anybody that is either an elected official or an appointed official in government that also works towards realtor initiatives. I'm not an elected official, but I have been appointed to a couple of different local government bodies. Like I'm a commissioner on the my county's planning and zoning board. Okay. And I also sit on the code enforcement board for my city of Lake Mary. So I guess that qualified me to be considered an appointed official for the local government. It qualified me for that award. The other one was from our state association, Florida Realtors, which it was called the Realtor Achievement Award. And that is given to any owner or manager of a real estate office within the state that, again, champions realtor initiatives and, and also helps to ultimately make life easier, make life better for others who are, whether they're involved in our profession or just involved with working in the business of real estate in some way, shape, or form.
Okay, terrific. Congratulations on those. And then also congratulations, you were in 2023 became one of the first 20 in the state of Florida certified board certified brokers. So tell me what that entails and how you had to qualify for that.
Well, so just like with attorneys or with doctors, medical doctors, when they become board certified within their profession, and ultimately it means that they are operating at the higher level within their profession, or at least they are held accountable to operating at a higher level within their profession. That is what we were looking to create within the state of Florida in the business of real estate. And so we were looking at the model that existed for attorneys, for doctors, and we need to create something similar, for the business of real estate. So I was actually on the committee that was helping to develop that. And then at the same time, while this was taking place, I was realizing, wow, I might qualify for this honor myself. And so I went ahead and started taking the steps, and I was honored to be one of the first 20 to receive this board certification. And it's based on your production in the business of real estate. It's based on your leadership within the profession, your competency. It's based on your community service, on how you give back to the community, whether it's through your volunteer time or whatever the case may be.
Okay.
And I think there were about in its first year about 100 and something individuals who applied for it, but only 20 were approved the first year. And so I was fortunate enough to be one of the first.
Fantastic. Congratulations on that. And you're also doing some instructing as well for helping people to get their real estate license, and then also additional designations after they have that. So you're doing some teaching as well.
I do, right? Yeah. So again, it's part of my desire to give back. The business of real estate has just been so very good to me. As I shared earlier, I went through a very dark time with the loss of my first wife, and the business of real estate helped to kind of turn me around and make my life so much better and brighter today. And so because of that, because it's been so good to me, I look for ways in which I'm able to give back and perhaps make other people's lives better and brighter as well. And teaching just became a way of making that happen. When I kind of look back at my history in real estate, the people that I looked up to the most, the people that I appreciated the most, were always teachers. They were instructors. And so this, I said, well, let me look to see if perhaps I can make this happen. Now, if you know anything about me, I'm very much a shy person. I am an introvert. And so the idea of getting up in front of people and teaching and instructing just seemed to go against the grain. Yeah. But because I love this business so much, it was I felt like, well, perhaps I can make this happen. So I started teaching pre-license first. Started to teach what pre-license is ultimately providing the education to those who wish to get their real estate license. Okay. And then post-license is everything that comes after the fact. So in Florida, when you get your real estate license, you then have to complete 45 hours of post-licensing, and then it's 14 hours every 2 years after that. Okay. So I teach core law, I teach code of ethics, I teach contract law, and then I decided to start to get involved in some of the designation courses. So my favorite designation that I like to teach is it's called the GRI. It stands for Graduate of the Realtor Institute. And what this does, it teaches the complete foundation of what it takes to become successful in the business of real estate, and encompasses basically every part of this profession: the legal aspect of it, the ethical aspect of it, the practitioner aspect of it. It's all encompassing, and I know as a person involved in the business of real estate, whenever I'm working with a realtor that has this GRI designation, I know it's going to be a good, solid transaction. Right. So it just made sense for me to go ahead and start teaching on this course and helping others reach that level as well.
So you're doing a lot of great things in the industry. You've got a successful business. You're giving back. What do you like most about this stage in your career right now?
So I work a lot, right? Before I got into real estate, I was working as a medical lab technologist, and I worked hard there. But from day one that I got into the business of real estate, I never worked more. I worked more hours in this profession than I ever had before. However, it doesn't feel like it. Mm-hmm. Real estate for me isn't a job. It's not even a career. It's a lifestyle. I'm meeting new people every day. I'm interacting with people every day. I'm helping to make their lives bigger and brighter every day, helping them transition often from one moment in their life to another. And that gives me such an incredible feeling of fulfillment that I really can't see myself doing anything else. It also has offered me opportunities to get involved in other areas. We touched on it already, getting involved on the legislative side of things, working with our elected officials to help make our community better. It gives me a chance to give back to my local government, both at the city and the county level. It gives me an opportunity, the freedom to be able to get involved with my church, and give back there, continue to meet more customers, help agents who are coming into the business and give them the instruction that they need to improve their lives and ultimately reach a point of being just as fulfilled in their lives as I have become in mine. So it's for me, it's been an incredible way of making a nice living, and at the same time, ultimately touching on my core principles, which involves helping others, being a servant leader to others that I come in contact with.
Well, that's fantastic.
Might sound corny, but I mean, that's truly.
No, when you talk about success, there's different ways to measure success, obviously, but you've sort of covered a lot of different ones. So I think that's a great thing. And then as far as when you're not working, you like to go out on your boat. You mentioned, you're always been into exercising and you're doing some training as well on the side.
Sure. Yeah. So we got two stepdaughters, and it's fun. It's hard to separate the work from my personal life because, like I said, it has become a lifestyle. They are so intertwined, but it's interesting. People ask me all the time, how is it that you're able to work with your wife and still have a happy marriage? Part of it is because we focus on two different specialties within the company. She's on the property management, I'm on the sales, but also it's she has the same philosophy as I do. She doesn't look at this as a job. She looks at it as a lifestyle. So we enjoy each other's company here at the office, and then when we leave, we look for opportunities to be able to enjoy life outside of Legends Realty. We love to travel. You mentioned already we have a small little 22-foot boat that we'll take out on the inlet. And just enjoy some time in the sun, and we go to this place called Disappearing Island and enjoy everything that has to offer. We get to travel with our daughters. I got 4 granddaughters as well, and they're quickly getting older. And as they get older, they're forming their own opinions and thoughts on things, right. And it's just a lot of fun to witness and watch them grow and watch them improve. Excuse me. Yeah. So at this stage in my life, just kind of enjoying it, watching the fruits of our efforts, our work over the years, and watching other people benefit from it, and watching other people grow and mature, and hopefully, as the granddaughters grow, they will grow up to be very remarkable, mature, God-fearing young women who love life as much as we do.
That's great. Well, Dan, congratulations on all your success. We're really happy for you, and we wish you all the best in the future, and thanks for being here today with us.
Thank you so much. I appreciate the opportunity to be part of this.
It's great to talk to you.
All right.
And that's all for this episode of Where Are They Now? For other Lenape District alumnus interviews, check us out online at youtube.com/Lenape District TV. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next time.